Hi, I'm Donald Osborne, author of Stile Transatlantico, Transatlantic Style, A Romance of Fins and Chrome, currently here on exhibit at the Blackhawk Automotive Museum in Danville, California. I'm very excited about this exhibition because it expresses the incredible influence that America had on Italian designers and manufacturers in the immediate post-war era and how that reflected itself in the cars that they designed and built. Although it was much more than a one-way street, the influence that Italy found in America was also found by Americans in Italy. But for the Italian manufacturers, there was a very interesting duality. There were these two parallel tracks, one of this great American exuberance that they saw in the post-war America of Hollywood and the jet age, and on the other hand, their centuries-old classicism, edited, clean, very essential, that also arose at the same time in automotive design. During the decade, and in this exhibition, you see how it varied from the purely American to that pure Italian classical, how they melded, and who came out on top at the end of the decade. This American influence can clearly be seen in some of the cars that immediately followed the war. Virgil Exner, working with Chrysler at Chrysler GS, did a lot of work which inspired the designers. You see in the Chrysler GS-1 an example of how Exner took these designs here into Italy, and you see that it was synthesized into cars later produced by GS, including the Volkswagen Carmen GS. You see that the GS-1 is a giant version of what became a very small car for the German manufacturer. The influences that Italian design had on American cars wasn't always seen immediately. Sometimes it could take a decade. This exhibition features a 1954 Alfa Romeo 1900 CSS bodied by Chrysler GS, designed by Giancarlo Boano. You'll see in its fastback roofline the side vent trim detail on the C-pillar and the sculpted side molding detail, the design that would later appear in the 1965 Mustang fastback. Astonishing. 10 years later, here are those same design cues executed in a completely different way for a completely different kind of car. But that's a great example of that wonderful exchange of ideas that flowed across the Atlantic through a decade.